We, in this gorge, got 34 inches of rain over 3 days, and we had 80-plus-mile-an-hour winds. NED, through Shannon and some of the folks here in Asheville, were able to get us some equipment delivered. Once that equipment got here, we were able to make some major headways with moving trees, moving debris.
I mean, I grew up in this area, and I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen houses washed away, lives destroyed. There's people I know that have personally have died from this. Still trying to get over it.
We live in the epicenter. When Helene hit, we were right in the middle of the worst of it. And we were blessed beyond measure. I've got a lot of neighbors in really bad shape. But everybody was blessed that I know. I mean, we're still here standing and talking. I think the beauty in all of it is seeing how many people's come together and just how community picks each other up and just keeps going.
Hey everyone, this is Corey Rogers, VP of Marketing for National Equipment Dealers. Today we're in Western North Carolina, and I'm riding along looking at some of the effects of Hurricane Helene and how it impacted this community. NED and a lot of our customers and family members of our employees were severely impacted by this horrendous storm. And we did help out a lot of the community with equipment. There's a lot to be done yet, and I'm riding with Shannon Fry, our salesman who covers this area. Shannon was personally impacted by this, as well as a lot of his friends and family. We have some customers that are running some Hyundai equipment down here near Lake Lure that we're going to visit with today and talk about the impact and some of the challenges that they face ahead, and how they plan to attack that with heavy equipment. Shannon sitting next to me here, we're in his Jeep. There's limited access to some of these areas, and Shannon's showing me some of the impact of what's happened that is still, even after a couple of months, highly visible. And we're getting ready to come across some destruction in this one little area that I'm going to film and show to you. Shannon, tell me a little bit about how this affected you and some of your family. And
It's really just been the scope of the damage. I mean, I grew up in this area, and I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen houses washed away, lives destroyed. There's people I know that have personally have died from this. Still trying to get over it. I really don't know how to explain it. It's definitely the toughest thing I've ever seen in this area. And if it hadn't have been for National Equipment Dealers and the Hyundai equipment they sent us, we'd still be struggling. I mean, we've done a lot of it on our own, but if it hadn't have been for National Equipment Dealers, we'd still be in it. I mean, a lot of us wouldn't even been able to get out of our houses.
We worked with Shannon. Shannon was able to identify areas that really needed a lot of help, and he did a lot of the groundwork along with other crews and volunteers. NED sponsored some volunteer groups that came in, and Shannon was a big part of making sure that the supplies that were donated, and both by NED and by customers and by other groups that we're involved with, got to the right places. The equipment that was brought in, I think there were skid steers and excavators and dozers, and a number of different pieces of equipment that were brought in to kind of help with some of the recovery. And it's an ongoing, continuous challenge. And by looking at what I'm looking at right now, there's just months and months, probably years of recovery ahead of us. And
they're saying 3 years just to get this road.
It is a little unsettling that you don't see a lot of crews out here doing anything.
You really don't. I mean, it's we had a lot of crews here for the first 2 weeks, and they just up and left.
Well, we're going to spend a little time with a customer later today and get their perspective on the way this has gone, and hopefully this community will recover and be stronger than it was before the storm. So with that, I guess we'll go ahead and start traveling down through here. So Shannon, tell me a little bit about this area that we're passing through right now.
You're coming into Back Cave now. this is one of the areas here that got hit the hardest, and you can see how wide that little river became.
What did that look like right after the storm?
It was wall-to-wall water here. I've saw boulders, I mean, the size of pickup trucks that used to be right here where we're at right now. They're gone. I mean, it just shattered them. There was 2 log cabins right here that are actually gone. Right there is one of the log cabins that used to sit basically right beside where we're at right now. River picked it up, carried it down, smashed it up against a tree. We get right around the curve here, and there was a beautiful house that the river just hit the back of it. And you really wouldn't even know there was a house there anymore. Yeah, to your right here, Corey, there used to be a house. The river just changed directions, and
So talking to your customers, Shannon, what are some of the challenges that they're facing right now, that maybe the media doesn't hear that we're trying to help them resolve and whatnot?
it's materials right now is a big thing. We don't have a lot of quarries in this area. Their haul times are huge.
Temperature's what, about 18 degrees outside right now? What's the temperature right now?
23. We're up to a balmy 23 degrees.
Yeah, that makes it kind of hard to do a lot of stuff around here.
And that's been an issue here lately. Everything's froze solid. That was a house there. This was just houses, both sides up through here. And you can see there's absolutely nothing left. Where you see the river over there now, Corey, it was literally over here after the flood.
Wow.
Yeah. I've told you about my niece, didn't I? It was the deputy here.
I don't think so.
She's a deputy here in Lake Lure.
Yeah.
She was on her way home and had a mudslide in front of her car, so she had to stop. Well, she couldn't go back because I think it was trees down behind her.
Oh my goodness.
So she had to evacuate her car. You can look it up on YouTube. You'll see her car still sitting where she left it, but it's about 20 foot lower than it used to be.
Oh my Lord. That was near here? Or what?
Yeah, it was just right down the street here.
How many people do you know? Is there still a lot of people without power?
I only know of a couple of homes that still are without power, and that's just because everything around them got destroyed, infrastructure-wise. We had a bad flood, I think it was 96. I was actually down here that day doing some trout fishing. It rained 11 inches up on the mountain and never rained here. And what came down through here was a wall of water. I mean, it took out some of the bridges. Like there was a bridge right down the road here that was taken out completely. And, but nothing like what we're seeing here.
My name's Ethan Fowler. I live in Bat Cave, North Carolina, and we're down here today at the Rumbling Bald boat launch. I work with Freeman Stone Masonry and Barge Company, and we're working on the cleanup of Lake Lure. The type of the debris we're getting out has mostly been building material. They call it C&D, construction demolition. It looks like every barge that comes in has a house that's tore down on it, just loaded with 2x6s, 6x6s, roof material. We've loaded people's Christmas ornaments. That's another thing that goes back to the heartbreaking thing, but moving forward, the massive stuff, we've been here since, we've been 7 days a week since a week before October, I believe, and it's been nonstop, and we're seeing it be nonstop for another month or two. And it's hard to wrap your head around when you hear people talk about it, but I've touched 95% of the loads that's left this landing here, and you cannot wrap your mind around it unless you've seen it in one big pile, and we'll never get that opportunity, but it's mind-boggling. So when we first got started, we were averaging roughly 45 to 65 tandem truckloads a day, and these are 20-yard trucks. And we averaged that for probably 2.5 months solid. It's slowed down now because we're slim picking. We've got the lake down, and we're averaging 12 to 15 today. It will pick back up if we do go subsurface and start getting stuff under the water. But even me sitting here loading, it's been unfathomable at the number of loads and the tonnage of material we're handling. We live in the epicenter. When Helene hit, we were right in the middle of the worst of it. And we were blessed beyond measure. I've got a lot of neighbors in really bad shape. But everybody was blessed that I know. I mean, we're still here standing and talking. I don't think anybody that lives here has still fully processed the scope of what took place here. Because you know, in our whole lives, I'm 27 years old, and you see this stuff on the news, and we just never thought that we'd be standing here going, this was right down the road from us. But I think the beauty in all of it is seeing how many people's come together and just how community picks each other up and just keeps going. It's been amazing. And if you're a godly person, that's all this was, is Jesus Christ bringing people together and everybody picking up and moving on, and let's band together and put it back like it was. It's been a beautiful thing.
So Shannon brought me by the local fire department here in Girton, and I'm here with the chief, Jay, and he's going to tell us a little bit about some of their current recovery efforts and what they've had to endure in the aftermath of this storm, as well as how NED helped out as they were trying to dig out of all the debris and everything that was in this community.
So as you know, the storm hit on September the 27th, and it went downhill from there. We, in this gorge, got 34 inches of rain over 3 days, and we had 80+ mile-an-hour winds. At the end of the storm, we had somewhere in the neighborhood of over 2,000 trees just into roads, not counting what was in driveways and private property. So we ended up with a whole lot of debris and damage that we had to deal with. And most of our bridges were gone. A lot of our roads were just completely washed out. We were able to start bringing in volunteers, and about Wednesday after the storm, NED, through Shannon and some of the folks here in Asheville, were able to get us some equipment delivered. And once that equipment got here, we were able to make some major headways with moving trees, moving debris, gaining access to places that we were just walking into. And without the help of NED and Shannon and all the volunteers that came in, we would still be struggling today just to be able to get to folks. As many of you know, the storm hit and it was nice, and then it turned cold, and now we've had a couple of snows, and it's really been tough to get through. Our community, all of our community members are in homes. There's nobody that's in tents here. Now if you go towards into Asheville, you'll see some of that, but here we've got everybody taken care of. We were very blessed in our community. We didn't have any deaths. No lives were lost. And so we're very pleased that this relationship and partnership with NED and all of the volunteers who came out really saved Girton. And it's because of them that we're here and we're doing as great as we are. And they'll have my deepest appreciation forever.